Hi everyone, my name is Mary. I'm going to be reading a little narrative piece I wrote about my experiences with the lack of control over my life and uncertainty about self-identity and how that ultimately led to a commitment to taking better care of myself, to self-discovery, self-compassion, self-love. So let's jump into it. Woo! You are known by two different names. The first is your Yoruba name, taken from your father's hand, a woman he has always praised as nurturing, selfless, and self-sacrificial. Your name is Aderonke, meaning the crown has found something to cherish, that's something being you. Your parents took your English name from the pages of their Bible, calling you after the maternal and devoted Mary. Two different names, but telling a singular story. In Yoruba culture, to name something is to predestine it. So much like Mary, your story serves only as a prequel to others. The story is yours, but you're not the subject. You do not wear the crown. You place it instead on the heads of everyone else who comes and goes from your life, beginning with your overworked mother, disinterested father, and carefree little brothers. Afternoons spent in the corners of rooms, keeping a watchful, trembling eye, your brother's caretaker, your mother's supporter, your father's rooms. There's no example to follow, no guide leading ahead to warn you of twists and turns in the road. You learn to quietly navigate these yourself, rewarded with beaming smiles and chest swollen with pride. What a well-behaved child. You know then your role, and you fight hard to keep it, afraid you would otherwise cease to exist. Well-behaved children don't complain, and so you don't. Not even when you pack up your possessions for the upteenth time, turning your back on another empty house. Eventually you're whisked away to a small town and no one there beside you. Your cast is a sidekick, catering to an audience that will never let you be anything more. And over time, there's less and less of you. You make yourself small, convenient, fit in snugly into pockets or carried away in their tide, too small a droplet to make waves of your own. There when you're needed and neatly tucked aside when you're not. You live your days off stage, tending wounds and celebrating moments alone. Bent over, hardened from the labor you put in behind the scenes, waiting, ready for your cue. You're good at performing, and even in your meager little role, you give them a show. You do not break character that one school night in the 8th grade when your father wishes your family goodbye and walks out the front door a final time, a single suitcase in hand. You do not break when you send in a university application for a psychology program instead of art school, because after everything your mother has been through, she deserves a doctor for a daughter. You don't break as you step into a world of overwhelmed, helpless kids masquerading as adults. Though you have mastered the art of caring for others, you have no idea how to care for yourself, and there is little time to learn. There are too many poor, struggling friends who need you, and not enough hours in the day to fix them. Not enough shoulders to offer for their burdens. How do you do it, they ask, so put together, always on top of things, back-to-back-to-back schedules, but never faltering, never stumbling, never breaking, at least not out loud, never out loud, only under breaths and under blankets, behind closed doors, behind forced smiles, behind the scenes. You find yourself slowly spreading in all directions, yet rooted in the same spot you have always been. Naively you mistake pushing past the limits of growth and feel a false sense of comfort in your unrelenting elasticity. In a clumsy attempt at adulthood, you seek to embolden the lines that should define you. But staring back from the mirror is a shapeless creature, a distinct lack of boundaries. You're spread too thin, all bent out of shape, ugly and deformed. Unrecognizable as the person you once were. You gave the world, but were called selfish for not giving the sun, moon, and stars along with it. So all that remains now is empty space. You make excuses for everyone but yourself. They don't know better, they don't mean it, they're just scared and tired and lonely. Maybe you were doomed the minute you were called a Aderonke. Automatically centered even in name, relegated to an object, as something longing for the attention of those above you. You spent so long being afraid of taking care of yourself, meaning you couldn't take care of anyone else. Caught up in the whirlwind of supposed tos, shoulds, musts, and nevers. But now you're scared. Scared you'll never amount to anything more than this object, than that non-pit in your stomach, your perpetual state of hunger and lack and emptiness. Scared you're forever destined to keep the peace while war rages in your chest. To be the glue as you secretly come apart. You need to keep it together. Keep together the farce that being needed, convenient, and loved are synonyms. Keep together this wearisome cage fashioned from your own flesh and bones. You stand there in front of the mirror, searching for something familiar in your reflection. And for a moment, time loses all meaning. There it is again. There you are. That child with so much potential. You're no stranger to making promises, but for the first time, you make a promise to yourself. Something has got to give, and this time it won't be you. No more scripts and no more stages. No more fighting for a second in someone else's spotlight. You take your first step into a world more bright, more vast, pulsating with possibilities, too great to be captured by any name or bound by any destiny. I'm not sure what it is that's out there, but whatever it is, I promise it is just for you.
Yeah.